My girlfriend laughed and said, "I'm not cutting off my ex. He's just a friend." I said, "Okay." Then I accepted a promotion in Madrid without telling her and watched her world fall apart. Before we go on, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling us which city you're tuning in from. I'm Esteban, 29 male, a software engineer at a tech company. I've been with my girlfriend Veronica, 27 female, for 3 years. She works in marketing, and we've been living together for the last year and a half. Here's what's been eating at me. Veronica has remained very close to her ex-boyfriend, Rodrigo. I'm talking daily text messages, phone calls when he has problems, and getting together for coffee whenever he needs support. At first, I thought, it's fine, maybe they're just friends. But the frequency was really weird, to be honest. I mean, she would cancel our plans if Rodrigo needed to talk about his work stress or his love problems. 2 years ago, I was offered a promotion that involved moving to our office in Madrid. A great opportunity, a significant salary increase, and the chance to lead a team. I was excited to tell Veronica, thinking we could start fresh together in a new place. Her response was, "I can't leave now. Rodrigo is going through a very difficult time with his breakup. He needs me here to support him." I thought, well, maybe it wasn't the right time, so I turned down the offer. Last year, another opportunity came up in Madrid, an even better position, basically my dream job. Again, I was excited to share the news. And again, Veronica said she couldn't move because Rodrigo was dealing with anxiety about his new relationship and needed her friendship to stay stable. When I asked her if she didn't notice a pattern in all this, she told me, "You're being ridiculous. I'm not going to cut off my friendships just because you're jealous." The breaking point came 3 months ago. We were talking about our future, maybe getting engaged. And I mentioned how I felt that Rodrigo was always in first place. Veronica lost it. She said I was controlling and insecure, and that healthy relationships don't involve eliminating friendships with exes. She said if I couldn't handle her having male friends, maybe I wasn't mature enough for a serious relationship. That hurt. I'm not going to lie, it made me question if I was really being irrational. I started to wonder if maybe the problem was me, but then I noticed that she never asked Rodrigo to tone down his constant need for attention. She never told him she had a boyfriend who might feel uncomfortable. It was always my feelings that had to be controlled, never his behavior that needed boundaries. My friend Mauricio from work kept telling me this wasn't normal. "Dude, my wife talks to her ex maybe twice a year because of the son they have. Your girlfriend basically has an emotional relationship with 2 guys. My sister Sophia was even more direct. She has him as a backup plan while she waits for you to thank her for the scraps of attention she has left." 3 weeks ago, my boss called me into his office. It was the 3rd opportunity in Madrid. A team leader position, a 7-figure salary, more than $1,000,000 a year, and the chance to work on projects I had always dreamed of. But this time he was frustrated. "Esteban, I've been trying to promote you internationally for 2 years. This is the last time I'm offering it to you. If you turn it down again, I'll move on to other candidates. The company needs people who are committed to growth opportunities." That night, I went home planning to have a serious conversation with Veronica about prioritizing our relationship over her ex's emotional needs. But when I walked in, she was on the phone with Rodrigo, giving him therapy again about some drama with his current girlfriend. She saw me come in and held up a finger as if to say, "Give me a minute." As I listened to her continue to advise her ex on his love life, it hit me. This was my life. This was always going to be my life. She had already chosen who came first. It wasn't Esteban. I sat there listening to her tell another man that she would always be there for him, that he could count on her no matter what. Meanwhile, I had sacrificed professional opportunities for 3 years, waiting for her to choose us. So I made a decision that's about to change everything, and I haven't told her yet. But first I need to know, am I crazy for thinking this situation was completely screwed up, or have I been her doormat all this time? Because what I did next will probably end our relationship, and there will be no turning back. Update 1. This is crazy, friends. The response to my post has been overwhelming. Thanks for confirming that I'm not losing my mind. To everyone asking what I decided, buckle up. Sorry for the delay in updating. I had to work late every night this week to get everything in order. Also, my phone screen broke on Monday and I just got it fixed. I couldn't write anything longer than a text message. So, Remember that third opportunity in Madrid? I took it. I didn't talk it over with Veronica. I didn't ask for her opinion. I just called my boss the next morning and said yes. But here's the good part. I didn't tell her. I thought if she could prioritize Rodrigo's feelings over the important decisions in our life, I could make my own decisions without asking for her permission. First, I started preparing in silence. I renewed my passport, I researched apartments, and I started organizing the work visa paperwork. The company gave me 6 weeks to move. I used that time to pay close attention to Veronica's behavior patterns. Jesus Christ, it was worse than I thought. Rodrigo sent her good morning texts daily. Every day she would reply with heart emojis and things like, "I hope you have a great day, handsome." When I asked her about it, she said, "That's how we talk. Don't make it weird." He called her at least 4 times a week. Usually, when I was at home during our time together, she would always answer, "Oh, it's just Rodrigo. He's having problems with his girlfriend or his family." Then she would disappear for 30 or 45 minutes to give him advice on his life, while I sat there watching Netflix alone. The worst part is that she started to get annoyed when I mentioned it, as if I were the problem for noticing. "You've been very clingy lately," she told me last week. "Rodrigo appreciates that I'm a good friend. Maybe you should learn what that looks like." 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to go to my company's end-of-year party. It was an important event. All the top management was going to be there. A good opportunity to network. That morning, Rodrigo called in crisis mode. His girlfriend found out he was constantly talking to his ex and threatened to break up with him. He needed Veronica to meet him for coffee and figure out how to fix it. Veronica looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, my love. I have to help him. You understand, right? It's an emergency." I just stared at her. So his relationship crisis is more important than supporting me at my work event. It's not about importance. It's about being there for someone who needs help. You'll have other work parties. That night, I went to the party alone. I told everyone she was sick and spent the evening talking to my future colleagues about Madrid, getting more and more excited about the move. One of the directors took me aside and said, "Esteban, we're really counting on you for this international expansion. You're our first choice, but we need someone who is 100% committed." I realized I was already 100%. I had been ready to go for weeks. Meanwhile, Veronica spent 4 hours with Rodrigo, helping him draft text messages to save his relationship with another woman. When she got home, she acted as if nothing had happened. "How was the party? I'm sorry I missed it, but Rodrigo really needed support. Last week I had a video call with my new team in Madrid. Veronica was out. Guess where? Having lunch with Rodrigo, because he wanted to thank her for being such an incredible friend by taking her to a nice place. She posted photos on Instagram, them laughing, him looking at her as if she were his girlfriend, her glowing from the attention. Her friend's comment said it all. "You guys look so cute together, and when are you getting back together already?" She replied with laughing emojis and a just friends, but she didn't correct anyone or mention she had a boyfriend. That's when I realized she was emotionally cheating on me, even if she didn't call it that. She was getting boyfriend-level emotional intimacy from Rodrigo while giving me brownie-level priority. And I had been allowing it by sacrificing my career to indulge her need to play couples counselor to her ex. 3 days ago, my visa was approved. The flights are booked for next Friday. I was accepted to see an apartment on Paseo de la Castellana this weekend via video call. My new boss sent me a welcome package with Madrid travel guides and restaurant recommendations, but I still haven't told Veronica I'm leaving. This is why. I want to see how she reacts when the consequences hit her. For 3 years, I've been the accommodating boyfriend who adjusts his life around her relationship with her ex. I've been understanding while she has had a total confusion of priorities. I'm curious to see what happens when she realizes I've stopped asking for permission to live my life. Tonight is the night I'm going to tell her. Rodrigo is supposed to come for dinner tomorrow because he's going through a rough patch and needs his friend's support. She asked me if I minded cooking for 3 because she wanted to help him feel better. I said, "Sure, no problem." What I didn't tell her is that Rodrigo can drown his sorrows by eating alone because I'll be apartment hunting in Madrid via FaceTime. This is either the smartest decision I've ever made or the most dramatic weekend of my life. Probably both. I'll update you after I drop the bomb. Update 2. Friends, what the hell just happened? I thought I knew what I was up against. I was so wrong. I've been super busy. I flew to Madrid on Thursday to look at apartments. I got back yesterday. The hotel Wi-Fi was garbage, so I couldn't update until now. On Wednesday night, I told Veronica about the job. I didn't ask her, I told her. I said I accepted the position in Madrid, that I was leaving on Friday to look for an apartment, and that I would be moving permanently in 3 weeks. The look on her face was like someone had slapped her with reality. What? When did you apply? We didn't talk about this. The same way you didn't talk about prioritizing Rodrigo's comfort over my career for 3 years. I made a decision that works for me. She went into total panic, started crying, and asked me how I could make such a huge decision without including her. I told her, the same way you included me when you decided that Rodrigo's emotional needs outweighed my work events, our dates, and my professional opportunities. That's completely different. Rodrigo is my friend. He needs support, and I'm your boyfriend who needed you to choose us over him. You chose him. Now I'm choosing me. She begged me to reconsider. She promised me we could set boundaries with Rodrigo. Too little, too late. I told her I was tired of being the third wheel in my own relationship. On Thursday morning, she drove me to the airport still crying and asked if we could put the relationship on pause until she sorted things out. I told her we could pause it permanently because I was tired of waiting for her to understand what basic loyalty was. Madrid was amazing, by the way. I found a spectacular apartment with a city view, signed the lease, and met my new team. Everything felt right in a way my life hadn't felt in years. But here's where things get crazy. When I landed back in Mexico City yesterday, I had 47 missed calls and about 200 text messages. Not from Veronica, from her friend Jimena, from my sister Sofia, and even from my friend Mauricio. Everyone trying to get in touch with me about the situation. It turns out that while I was in Madrid, Rodrigo made his move. On Wednesday night, after I left for the airport, he went to the dinner they had planned. He brought wine and flowers to thank Veronica for being such an incredible friend. She was emotional from our fight, vulnerable, and probably feeling abandoned. According to Jimena, who heard it from Veronica, Rodrigo told her he had always regretted their breakup, that seeing her be so caring and loyal made him realize she was the woman of his life he had let slip away. He told her he had been trying to win her back little by little all this time, that the constant contact wasn't because he needed support, it was to stay connected until she realized they should be together. Then he kissed her. But wait, it gets better. Veronica, apparently in shock, asked him about his current girlfriend. Rodrigo laughed and said he was planning to break up with her anyway, that she was just a pastime while he waited for Veronica to be single again. That's when Veronica realized she had been played. Rodrigo hadn't been the loyal friend who needed support. He had been systematically sabotaging our relationship while positioning himself as her safe, emotional space. Every crisis, every need for support, every time she chose him over me. It was manipulation, not friendship. She kicked him out of the house and then spent Thursday night calling me and crying. It went straight to voicemail because I was on the plane. She left messages begging me to call her, saying she finally understood what I had been trying to tell her, that she was so sorry she hadn't seen Rodrigo's true intentions. By Friday, unable to reach me, she drove to my office. My boss told her I was out of the country on business. She asked him when I would be back, and he replied, he definitely won't be. Esteban has relocated to Madrid for a promotion. That's when it hit her. I wasn't coming back. This wasn't a dramatic tantrum. This was my real life now. Sofia told me that Veronica called her sobbing on Saturday, begging her to give her my contact information in Madrid. She said she needed to apologize, to explain that she finally saw how wrong she had been, and that she wanted to fight for us. Sofia, bless her heart, told her, he spent 3 years fighting for you while you made him compete with your ex for the most basic respect. He's done fighting. He's building a life with people who choose him first. I called Veronica yesterday when I got home and managed to get my phone chip working. She was devastated. She kept saying she was sorry, that she never meant for things to go so far with Rodrigo, that she really thought they were just friends. I told her, Veronica, you chose him over me every single time. When he needed you versus when I needed you. His comfort over my concerns. His schedule over our future. You showed me exactly where I stood. You loved the security I gave you while you explored an emotional connection with someone else. That's not the same thing. She asked if she could visit me in Madrid, if we could try a long-distance relationship. If there was any way to save this, I told her the truth. I'm not angry anymore, but it's over. I spent 3 years asking her to choose us, and she chose him every time until he showed his true colors. I'm not interested in being anyone's second choice when they finally realized their first choice was using them. I'm going back to my apartment in Mexico City on Saturday to pack my things and say goodbye to my friends. I officially start my life in Madrid in 2 weeks. Veronica said she won't give up, that she'll show me she's changed. I hope she really finds happiness, but she won't find it with me. Some lessons are learned too late, and some opportunities don't come around again. This one won't. Final update. I've been getting direct messages asking how things ended, so I thought I'd give you some closure, since you helped me realize I wasn't crazy. Madrid has been incredible. I was promoted to senior engineer 6 months after I moved. I bought an apartment on Paseo de la Castellana last year. The city view is worth every penny. The work is challenging. The team is brilliant, and I love the city. I'm dating someone, Elena, 28 years old. She's a product manager at a financial startup. I met her at a networking event 8 months ago. What's different about her? She respects boundaries naturally. I never had to explain to her why I would be uncomfortable if she were constantly texting with an ex. She just doesn't do things that disrespect our relationship. A very crazy concept, right? Last month, Elena mentioned that her ex from college wanted to have coffee with her when he was visiting the city. Her exact words were, I told him, no thanks. I'm in a relationship, and you're important to me. I don't need closure or friendship with someone from my past when I'm building a future with you. That's what it looks like when someone chooses you. As for Veronica, hold on. She contacted me about 6 months ago. A very long email explaining how much she had matured, how therapy had helped her realize she was seeking validation through male attention, and how much she regretted not valuing what we had. It turns out life hit her hard after I left. Rodrigo lasted exactly 3 weeks after I moved to Madrid. Once he realized Veronica was actually available, he lost interest. The classic psychology of the hunt. He wanted her when she was taken, but when she became free and interested, the thrill was gone. He started making excuses not to go out, and then just completely ghosted her. Veronica's work performance suffered a lot while she dealt with the emotional fallout. She had spent so much time managing Rodrigo's dramas that she had neglected her own career. She was passed over for promotion twice. Eventually, she had to take a lower-level position just to keep her job. The financial stress was very real. She had been splitting expenses with me for years. Suddenly, she had to cover the full rent on her own. She moved in with roommates and then moved back in with her parents when she could no longer afford the high rents in Mexico City. But here's the kicker. She wanted to visit Madrid to see if we could reconnect. She said she had learned her lessons about priorities and commitment. I was polite, but clear. I wished her the best, but I had completely moved on. I wasn't interested in going back to a situation it took me years to escape from. She didn't take it well at all. She started commenting on my Instagram posts, saying that Madrid looked very lonely, that professional success meant nothing without someone to share it with. I blocked her. The last I heard from mutual friends is that she's still single, still living with her parents, and has an entry-level job in marketing. I'm not trying to be cruel. That's just the reality of burning bridges with the people who were genuinely committed to you. Elena and I are talking about moving in together next month. She's already met my family via video call, and they adore her. We're planning to visit Mexico for Christmas so she can meet everyone in person. Life is good when you're with someone who chooses you naturally, instead of someone you have to convince to prioritize your relationship. For anyone dealing with a partner who calls their reasonable boundaries controlling or insecure attitudes, they're telling you they want permission to cross those boundaries. When someone shows you who they are through their decisions, believe them the first time. Don't sacrifice your career waiting for someone to discover what basic loyalty is. The right person knows how to respect your relationship without needing a manual. That's it. Chapter closed. It's time to get ready to go to lunch with Elena. She found an incredible place in Malesana that serves spectacular Spanish breakfasts.